My love of cars started at a young age. My mom helped my dad pull an engine while pregnant with me. My dad has owned many cars, but has had his '66 Chevelle since the '80s. I used to sit in it and pretend to drive. There was even talk of me getting it one day, but after tearing up the hand-me-down Cutlass, I had a feeling that wasn't going to happen. But once I was able to prove myself more responsible, we began muscle car shopping. I have owned my Chevelle since 1993 when I was 18 years old. It was a combination of high school graduation and Christmas present. We had looked at faster cars, but my dad thought this was much safer since it is a factory power steering and power disc brake car. After daily driving it for a few years, we installed a RHS crate engine. Shortly thereafter, the rust started appearing, starting in the front fenders, then the quarters. The car sat for years in various states of disrepair while I tried to save money for sheet metal and bodywork. Around 2007, I met my now wife, and when we sold my first house, the profit made it possible to finally restore my Chevelle. I spent the next 18 months completing a frame-off restoration, 9 months of which was body shop jail. In 2008, I took it to cruise in Ocean City for the first time. I have spent the last 10 years enjoying the car at cruises and car shows with my dad and his Chevelle and my wife and kids, but have gotten the racing bug again. In 2017, my dad and I got to race each other at Cecil County. I got smoked but loved every minute of it. Then the following year, I would get to work early each day and pull up YouTube to watch Drag Week and swore if it came closer, I would have to register. When they announced Cecil County, I almost fainted. That was it, I had to register. Then, in late 2018, my daughter was diagnosed with a brain tumor, and Drag Week seemed trivial. When registration opened, she was over halfway through chemo treatments, but the prognosis was looking good. So the morning it opened, I sat with 2 computers open and kept refreshing until I was lucky enough to get registered. My daughter successfully completed her chemo and proton radiation treatments and has fully healed. Shortly after Drag Week 2019, my dad bought a new 468 big block, and his old 454 was sitting in my garage, and he was debating on what to do with it. He had already ran in the 12s with ease with it, and I just could not get my small block below 13.0 no matter what. So I quickly listed my small block for sale and decided to make the swap with my dad's assistance. Once we got it dialed in, we took it back to Cecil County and ran low 12s a few times, but still seemed to be off even though there was some daylight showing under the right front tire. Talking with some fellow racers, we decided on a new converter from Dice Converters. I decided to go to Midwest Drags since it was on the East Coast in 2023. Came home with a 12.5 average, mostly due to the heat, but again survived a drag and drive event. Then in October, with some cooler weather, more tuning, and new rear springs, the old Chevelle ran 11.90.
When I first heard about proton therapy, I was like,
why didn't I know about this?
They take protons from atoms
and shoot them right at your tumor.
Zap!
It's a powerful dose of radiation.
But it targets the tumor itself.
So most healthy tissue and organs are spared.
The tumor, not so lucky.
The Maryland Proton Treatment Center is a leader in proton therapy for cancer and has treated more patients than anyone in the region. Learn more at askforprotons.com.
Lainey was asked to be in a commercial for the Maryland Proton Center where she was treated. Her main line was Zap, and it became one of our favorite words, and the idea for Zap Racing was born. I started working on some logos and even made t-shirts and hats. Lainey will never be able to drive due to her eyesight, but I hope one day to take her on a drag and drive adventure.